All right. Here we go. We can go and get started in like a minute. I just got to get set up here. Okay, so what we're going to do today is, let's go like this. What we're going to do today is, we did, let's kind of talk about what we have done, and then we're going to get into, so what we have done is, I had you guys, we did this right here, and I talked about the stick figure person, and I gave you some proportional stuff, and what I realized was this drawing is not big enough for what I want to teach you guys. So we're going to do not this, we're going to do something different, okay? It's going to be similar, but it is going to be different because it's going to get into exact proportions. So you're just going to do what I do. It's going to be, and if you do that, then it's going to be easy. So. It's gonna be technical, and it's gonna be rewarding and informational, I should say, because it's gonna help you to see the human body in a different way and to understand it more. Okay. If you're coming in late, don't come in late anymore. Get out just get a 9x12 piece of paper and get a regular pencil. Looking. Where is that thing? There we go. 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 Okay, so I'm gonna close this door here. So here's our skeleton here, and this circle right here, it represents, let me see if I can zoom in more. No, I can't. Can I? There we go, that's the max zoom in. But this circle right here represents the back of the skull, and this section right here is a cranial unit. And this guy, Robert Beverly Hale, he created this to my knowledge, and so we can take this and we can have correct proportions of the human body no matter what pose you're drawing. And here we go. We're gonna be doing we're gonna be exploring this idea right here. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 heads. Okay, or I should say cranial units, not heads. Okay, because a head length is from the jaw to the top of the head. All right, so here we go. All right. Get a pen. Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys. Okay, we're doing, here we go. Pencil. And let's do, okay, we're good here. So we're going to make a dash up here. We're going to make a dash down here, really dark. Okay, so we're going to go dark right there. We're going to go dark about here. And then we're going to draw, and it's in the middle of the paper. We're going to draw a light vertical line here. Very light. Today, our intention is to learn proportion. And we are, as we're doing that, we're going to draw a skeleton, okay? Simplified skeleton. When I say simplified skeleton, that means we're not going to draw every single little nook and cranny of the skeleton. Okay, down here we're going to go your last name and period 1, and it is 10. I don't know. I got my calendar. It is the 24th. Cool. 10/24, 2025. All right, cool. So we have that right there. So what we're going to do is we are going to go like this. We're just going to go about in the middle here. We're going to divide this about in the middle lightly. Okay. And then right here, we're going to divide this in half right here. So here to here, we're going to divide this in half, and here to here, we're going to divide this in half. Okay, just for now. And then we're going to go like this. We're going to go a circle lightly. Oh, we got to divide this into thirds. Thirds this. So here to here, we're going to divide into thirds. And here to here, we're going to divide into thirds. So this right here is half. This right here is half. This is a third. This is a third. This is a third. And this is a third. And from that point, what we're going to do is we are going to focus on this top section. Okay, and we're going to put a circle right here, 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 lightly, very lightly, here, here, and these are not perfect, but it's okay. We're getting the idea. Okay. Morning. All right, so we got our, this right here, this half down here, this is going to be the bottom of the pelvis. Okay, that's your ischium or your sits bones, people call it. It's the bones that you sit on. Okay, we're going to go halfway right here, lightly. And this is this part right here, this halfway mark. Now, when you're drawing the human figure, guys, you're not going to have to do this, okay? We're doing this so you have an awareness of what is happening under the skin. Okay, it's important that you know this. And also, skeletons are rad. Like, we all have one, and it's a sign of our mortality. It's very symbolic in different ways. If you want to be an artist, you can use different parts of the skeleton in your art. Symbolism. So we go halfway down. This is the pubic bone, and that's 5.5 cranial units down. Okay, so we're just gonna say that. The top of the pelvis is, we're going to go up one cranial unit. Top of the pelvis is going to be here. Okay, the top of the pelvis is called the iliac crest. It's called the iliac crest. You will not be tested on any of this. Okay? All that I need you to do is write what I write, draw what I draw, and you'll get all the points, okay? So don't stress about, oh gosh, I'm gonna be tested. No, that's for physiology class, okay? If you want to nerd out on this on your own like I do, then feel free. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we are gonna come down, we're gonna make a box right here. A square, I should say, a square, not just a box, because a box can be any, I'm going to get a little analytical. A box can be any length. And we're going to go pelvis. We're going to make another square here very lightly. Make sure you're doing this lightly, guys, not dark. Okay, I'll tell you when to draw dark, and I will draw dark. So the rib cage is it goes to about 2 cranial units in width, and so do the hips, or the pelvis, I should say. Okay, and I just thought of something, so I'm gonna go, well, let's go like this. Okay, so right here, we're gonna go, okay, here's our head, right? So when you draw a person, guys, you're gonna start with the head. Okay, you're gonna start with the head always. Now, when you become advanced professional artists or whatever, like you can do whatever you want. In class, for the reason of learning, or the purpose of learning and learning quickly, is we're gonna approach drawing people the same way every time, and that involves drawing the head first. So when you draw the head, we're gonna start with a circle, okay? We're gonna start with the circle. Now, down halfway, we're gonna make a light mark here, okay? This is the chin, the bottom of the chin, okay? I say the bottom of the chin because the chin protrudes out, and it does have a top, and it does have a bottom portion, so we're gonna say the bottom of the chin, okay? And I'm gonna zoom in on this so we can see this part better. And we're just gonna come up like so. Okay, so there's our head. Okay, you gotta get a piece of paper, you gotta catch up, let's go. Just get a regular 9x12 piece of paper and pencil. Okay, about halfway here, you're gonna have the corner of the jaw or the mandibles. So let's go in front of the camera here. So this part right here, okay, there's the corner of the jaw or mandible, and here's the bottom of the chin right here. Okay, so this is going to come down, and we're going to angle out. So that's going to come down like so. We're gonna go a little bit deeper on the skull here. The skull's actually somewhat flat on the sides. It's a combination of this round thing and this flat thing. On the sides here, it's kind of flat. These are your temples right here. Temples. Okay. Right here at the bottom, around the bottom of this cranial unit right here, you have the bottom of your nose and nasal cavity. So we're just going to go arrow, bottom of nose. Okay, about halfway of this cranial unit, of this circle, about I should say halfway. Okay, let's just say this is a fact. We have the brow ridge. Okay, we have the brow ridge. So if we look at our just where your eyebrows are. That's your brow ridge, okay? And a little bit lower than that, and we'll get into like technical portrait drawing later. And this is for an adult head, because you have a baby's head proportion is different than a toddler's, different than a preteen, is different than a teenager, okay, and then to adult, because you guys are we're growing into our skulls. Your guys' faces are still elongating, maturing. Your bones are still growing. Noses are still growing. Your face is still elongating. You guys as teenagers, okay? So I'm just going to say a little bit lower. We're going to have the top of the eye socket. And the eye socket, it is roundish. I like to make it more angular. So I'm just going to angle out like this and angle out like that when it is this size. And I like to make it more of a parallelogram. I know that's like kind of nerdy, but that's what I like to do. Welcome.
Hey.
Joey's here.
Good morning. Hey, guys.
Okay, so I like to make it this size of parallelogram. When I go deep, when I go bigger, we'll make the eye socket more of a, I don't know what it's called, some other shape. Okay, now on the side of the eye socket, we have this thing right here, this part right here, this little ridge. And it ends at the bottom of the eye socket. We're going to come out like so. And the cool thing about being able to draw things from memorization is that, like, if you memorize how to draw something, you can get more creative with it. You can distort it. You can have fun with it. You can change it. Like, I love drawing skulls, and I'm almost losing my my flow here, but and interrupting myself. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay. I was gonna show you an example. So this thing right here, this little line and this little line right here, and I'm gonna zoom in here for you guys. Okay. Let's get a little bit closer. This little line right here and this little line right there, it's this bone right here. I think that's called the zygomatic arch. That's this piece right here. It goes back to the ear, and this little hole right here, that's the ear canal. So there's your ear canal. So that goes back to your ear canal, okay? And right in front of that, you have your jaw. So we're going to come down like so. We're going to come down like so at an angle. Now, about where the bottom of the eye socket is, we're going to draw the top of the nose hole, or the nose socket, I guess you would call it. No, I don't know if it's not really a socket. A socket is a hole. So, yeah, it's just a nose hole. Okay, we're going to come out at an angle, and this is like a trapezoidal shape. And here's a cheekbone coming down, cheekbone coming down. We're going to come in a little bit, and we're going to come down, and we're going to come down. All right, from the bottom of the nose hole to the top of the chin, we're just going to, I don't know what that's called. We're just going to call this nose hole. That sounds fun. Nose cavity, I don't know. We're going to go about a third of the way down here, and that's where the teeth are going to come together. And we're going to go to mark a third here. That's the top of the chin. So this is a little precursor to portrait proportion and portrait drawing. When I teach you later on, I'm going to be drawing a larger skull and head and be getting in deep in that. So that's that for now. Okay, moving down. So when you draw the human figure, you're going to draw the head and you're going to draw the neck. So when you draw the head, guys, we're going to start with this. Just everybody draw a circle like that. Okay, everybody draw a circle like this, just to the side. And so when you draw a head, you have this line that's in the middle like this, right? That once again, that's the brow ridge, the brow, okay? And then you have this thing called the center line that comes down, and that helps keep things symmetrical. Then we got the chin, and this is gonna come up. And we're gonna get into different poses of the head. So when you start drawing the head, start with that, and the eyes are below that. Okay, we're gonna move down. Now, we're looking at the front view. Now, what's important is what is behind the skull. Here we go, turning the skull to the side. Okay, you see this little lump right here, this bump right here? And we got another one right over here, another beautiful little bump right there. Okay, we got the back, and here's the bump right there. And here's this bump right over here. And you guys can feel that right behind. If you look up at me, you can feel this right behind your ears. Okay, that is the mastoid process. A process is a thing that sticks out. It's a bump, okay? And processes on bones, tendons attach to those. A tendon turns into muscle, okay? A tendon attaches muscle to bone. So you have the mastoid process that goes like this, and now look up here, check it out. It starts here and it comes forward and it attaches, you can feel the column, 2 cylinders coming down. It gets tendinous here, comes down and attaches to the top of your sternum, and it splits, and part of it attaches to your collarbone right here. Okay? So that's your sternocleido, sternum, cleido-clavicle, mastoid, sternocleidomastoid muscle, because it attaches to 3 different bones. Okay, so, and it's a triangle. So it attaches back here, behind, this little thing is behind, okay? And it comes and it attaches, we're gonna make very lightly, starting from here, we're gonna come inward like this, and we're gonna go right here, make that dark, that's very important, and we're gonna make a dark, long rectangle that is 1 cranial unit. This is your sternum. Okay? Here's your sternum. It starts right here. Check it out. Look at me up here. Comes down, ends about here. That's your sternum. Anybody know what muscle attaches to the sternum? Pectorals. Yes, your pecs. Okay, the pecs do this. Okay, people do bench press, push-ups. Okay, you get that movement. So the pectorals attach to the sternum. Okay, and so, and your sternocleidomastoid muscle also attaches to the top of the sternum. Now we have these 2 other awesome bones. Well, let's go here first. We're gonna go, here's your sternum, right? What attaches to the sternum? What bone is this? This is your first rib. First rib. Okay? And that first rib is going to come around like so. Lightly draw this in, your first rib. Okay? I'm sorry. I didn't mess up, but I kind of messed up. But pay attention to this. What's important here, what's very important is let's point out the 3 parts of the skeleton, or 3 main parts of or I should say 4 main parts. We have part number 1, which is, you think it's going to be this, or this, or this. Part number 1 is this. What is that? What is this, guys? Your spine. That's part number 1. Why is that part number 1? Because it attaches part number 2, your head and your rib cage and your pelvis together. Okay? So it attaches all these parts together, these 3 parts. So back here, we're going to lightly draw in. Okay, and to the side here, we're going to do this. Let me zoom in a little bit here before we keep going. Hey guys, no side conversations. We got to pay attention here. So we're going to go like this. We're going to make our spine really long. it's going to be narrow up here, and it's going to be wide here. Yeah, when I'm giving a demonstration and I'm taking the time to do this, I need no side conversations. At least don't let me hear you, okay? I'm in teacher mode right now. Thank you. So basically, it's a little bit more differentiated than this, but this is going to be our spine. So back here, we're going to start right here at the base of the skull, which is the back of it. And we're going to taper out lightly, draw this in lightly. We're going to end right here at the bottom of cranial unit number 5. Okay? So right here, this is the bottom of the spine. Now, this is the bottom of the spine right here. Look, right here where the pencil is, this is the bottom of the spine. What is this thing, this triangular thing called? Anybody? Huh? Okay, tailbone's down here. This whole triangular thing, more guesses? Or you? Sacrum. This is called the sacrum, okay? So we're going to go like this. It helps keep us balanced. We're going to come out a little bit. Actually, the sacrum, it's kind of triangular and kind of box-like. We're just going to go like that. Okay, so there's our sacrum. And we're going to revisit that later. And I probably shouldn't have drawn it so dark. So I'm going to kind of gently erase a little bit to soften that. Okay. So now that we've talked about the sternum and the awareness of the sternum, we have an awareness of the sacrum, okay? We are going to attach, we've already attached the head to the spine. Now we're going to go rib cage. So each rib comes and it attaches to the spine right there. So that's what I'm doing right there. That's what that little mark is, and that little mark is it's saying, hey, look, this first rib number 1, it comes around and it attaches to the spine. Okay, now we're going to come down. We're going to come out at an angle and a curvature. Okay, coming out down like so. There we go. Okay. Here's the corner of this rib right here, and I'm darkening that. Here's the corner of this rib right here, or this side, and the corner of this side. So our rib cage has corners. Our rib cage has corners. You're like, what? Rib cage has corners? Yep. You can, they're right in the front here. You can feel your ribs. You know, here they are right here. Here's the corners of your ribs hanging out. And we'll explain more about that. And then the ribs... Here's our corner of our rib cage, corner of the rib cage, and then they come back up to the sternum. So we're just going to put a straight line like this. We're going to put a straight line like that. They are curved. We're just going to do it straight. We're going to simplify this a little bit. Okay. So how many ribs are there? There's 24. You will not have to draw. Well, we might draw all 24, but it's no big deal because we have time. You can put the little triangle at the bottom of the sternum. Let's do that. That's a good little addition there. And I forgot what that's called.
Scalp?
The triangle, but oh well, whatever. Okay, so we got our rib cage coming out. What food does this shape remind you of? Egg, yes. So this is our rib cage. We're going to put an arrow. We're going to go rib cage. We're going to go egg. Egg form. Egg form. Okay, what other food? It's a vegetable. It's a fruit. What fruit does it remind you of? What am I thinking? Pear. Kind of pear, yeah. So, okay. Starts with an A. Avocado, yeah. Avocado form. Egg form. Yeah, whichever you prefer, okay? But it is a form. It's rounded, guys. See, look. Here's our rib cage. It has width. Now, look, as you turn it, it has depth. And it has height. So it's this rounded thing, okay? It's rounded. It wraps around. So let's go like this. Let's do a wrapping line. Let's go around. Let's practice a couple wrapping lines. wrapping around the rib cage like so. Let's do another one halfway. Let's just wrap around the rib cage like this. Now look, I'm starting here, wrapping around, going to the other side and to the back and coming around this thing. Let's start right here, and we're gonna go around the rib cage. We're gonna wrap around the rib cage because it is a three-dimensional object. I want you guys to be thinking three-dimensionally. In your brain, you're like, 3 dimensions. Okay, there you go. Now that's that. 3 dimensions. All right, now we're gonna get into the pelvis. It's a little bit, gets a little dicey here. Pelvis is a little dicey, but it's cool. We can handle this. All right, so the pelvis, it attaches to the, oh my gosh, I can't. My gosh, why can't I'm losing my mind. I'm not losing my mind. I just forgot it for a second. Okay, the sacrum. All right, arrow. We got to label the sacrum. That was scary.
Welcome back, dude.
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. Okay. Here's our sacrum here. And so our pelvis attaches it to it. We're gonna go up. We're gonna go up from the sacrum. We're gonna come forward like so. And then we're gonna go all the way down here. We're gonna come. See, I'm not going all the way out here. We can, like, if the hips are wider, that's more feminine. If the hips are narrow, it's more masculine. We're gonna come in like so, and we're gonna come in like so. There we go. So the pelvis is kind of like a W or the Wu-Tang symbol, Wu-Tang Clan symbol. You might know of that band. Fun fact, yeah. Okay, so right here, here's our pubic bone, pubic symphysis, and it's kind of, it actually goes like this. We have a piece of cartilage right here, and then it comes out. We're gonna go. Well, I like, whatever. It's gonna come out like this, and we're gonna come out like this. Okay. And you're like, well, what is that? It looks like a spider or a bug or a dragonfly, I guess. Okay. And then right here, we have a ball and socket joint. And right here, we have a ball and socket joint. Ball and socket joint. What's that? All right, I'm gonna bring Jude over. I'm gonna come bring this.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm gonna unplug.
Do it.
Shifting. That. We're gonna go right. Mixed up ball. All right, here we go. Here's our skeleton, guys. So if you look up here, check it out. We have what bone we got. Look up here what bone we got right here. Say it. The femur, yeah, or thigh bone, okay? Now, we can, let's take this off for a second here. For a minute or 5 minutes.
Breakaway.
Yeah.
Psycho!
Oh, let's put this back in. Go ahead and have a seat. Are you getting a pencil? What are you doing? Go ahead and take it off. All right, so right here, look. Here's our ball. Here's our socket. It's a hole type thing. Ball and socket joint right here. That's what we just drew. Up here, look. You have upper arm bone. Eyes up here. We have not a socket, per se. We do have at the end of this thing right here, we have a little cup. Okay, a little cup. Make a cup with your hand like you're going to hold water. That's right there. And then this comes in like this. You also have this, the acromion process. And this, and the coracoid process. This thing is up, it's probably hard to see, but this is like a bony finger right here. It's a part of your scapula or your shoulder blade. So this in combination with this, in combination with this, and many ligaments, these orange things, these pink things are ligaments, they hold bone to bone, hold that in place along with different muscles, okay, that hold your shoulder in place. So it's very flexible, okay, very, very flexible because of that. All right, so scoot this way. I'm going to be coming back and forth.
Okay.
All right, so coming back to this ball and socket joint there. We're going to come over a little bit, come over a little bit. We're going to come up. We're going to come up. And we're going to make a simplified, a little triangle here, a little triangle right here. These are little gaps that are there to hold tendon. You don't really need to know those for anatomy for artists. If you want to memorize the skeleton, it can be beneficial. Like, oh, I want to make a zombie. Okay, well then memorize as much as you need to do that. Okay, so this part right here comes forward, and we're going to come down. We're going to curve around to the pubic bone, pubic symphysis. And we're going to come back from over here. We're going to come around. I'm trying to simplify this for you. This is, this comes forward. This is the furthest point. Well, I shouldn't say that. Here's side view of the pelvis. This part right here, these 2 points right here, which you can feel, and you're sitting down right now, you can take your 2 fingers and go, oh, that's the front of my pelvis right there. So these 2 things right here, you can feel those with your fingers right now. You can go, oh, check it out. No way, that's the front of my pelvis. And those are about right here, and that's about right here. That's very important. Put 2 dark circles right there. That is a landmark. That is what you're looking for when drawing a person. Right here, the corner of the rib cage is a landmark. Put a circle. Here's the corner of the rib cage. That's a landmark. Put a circle. Now, check it out. Look, these line up. Lightly put lines because they line up. All right, we're going to move back up here to the top because this is an important part. And what I want to put in here before, usually I put the clavicles in, but what's important are the things behind the clavicles. Look up here, please. Right here, the shoulder blades are there. These are important. It's an important part. It does a lot of supporting of your shoulder and movement. And they are behind the clavicle. We're going to draw these. We're going to draw these in. Which simple shape is the clavicle? Is the shoulder blade? Triangle. Okay, it's a triangular form, triangular shape. Okay, and this part that holds the upper arm bone in. Remember, it's that cup shape. So we're gonna draw that in, and this comes out. First, we'll go like this. We're gonna go put a circle here. We're gonna put a circle here, bigger circle. So these are bigger circles than these down here. Okay, and this is a bigger circle because that is the start of your upper arm bone. That's your ball and socket joint. Okay, so next to that, we're gonna put a straight line, well, we can curve this a little bit because I told you to curve it. So that's the socket for the scapula. Okay, and then we're just going to come across, lightly, draw this lightly coming across, draw this lightly coming across like so. We're going to end about half. We have this square here. We're going to see this square right here. We're going to end about halfway, come down to the bottom of that square and come back up lightly. Okay, so we're coming, here's this square here. We're going to go about halfway, come down to the bottom of the square. And then we're going to move back up. And you have your triangular scapular shape. Now that's behind the rib cage. And it's rounded, it slides, it floats on the rib cage. It's not a flat thing. It's not like this. It is, look at this board here. Look at this board. Look, it is amazing red board. The scapula is not flat like a board. It is rounded like your hand. And it hugs the rib cage. Okay, it's rounded, is hugging it. Like when you go like this on your rib cage, and you take your hand off, your hand is rounded because your rib cage is rounded. Okay. So that's what the scapula does. It floats. It's rounded. So now you have this thing on the scapula, and it's called the acromion process. And this is an important part. And the acromion process goes above your ball and the ball of the upper arm bone. See this little rectangle that I'm drawing right here? That is your acromion process. Now look, take your 2 fingers or 3 fingers, whatever you want. Look up here at me. And your acromion process is back here. It's like a shelf. You can feel that? Right there, acromion process. And then you go a step up, forward. What's that rounded thing right there? That is the end of your clavicle. This is it. Acromion process back here. Move upward. That's the end of your clavicle. Okay? So the acromion process, watch, this comes down. It attaches to the scapula. It attaches to the scapula. You draw what I draw, you get all the points. You don't draw what I draw, you don't get all the points. Some of you are sitting there not doing anything. You're just la-di-da. That's fine. You don't have to. You won't get all the points. It's cool. Okay, now we're going to go to the clavicles. Clavicles. We're going to start right here. The clavicles attaches to the top of the sternum, and we're just going to make it straight right now, and it goes above it's a long rectangle pretty much. I mean, it does curve. It has an S curve, but it goes above, it's the acromion process. Okay, so you have this step. Check it out. We're like, oh, check this out here. It goes over, step down, over, step down, over, step down. There's our upper arm bone right here. Okay, so it's a complex area. You can remember this part right here, the sternum and the clavicles. It kind of looks like a helicopter. Helicopter body. You guys are doing great. Thank you. We've got about 5 minutes left. We're going to do a little bit more, and then we're going to call it done. So let's just come down. We're going to go, okay, we're going to go from this circle here, which is the top of your upper arm bone. It's called the humerus. It has a little nodule. We're going to come out, and we're going to come down. See this? And we're going to come down, down. And on the other side, we're going to come out, and we're going to come down, down. How far down? We're going to come to the bottom of the rib cage. The bottom of the rib cage. So that is about, what, 2 cranial units? The humerus is about 2 cranial units. And that flares out. And then here, watch this. We're going to come about right here, and we're just going to come straight down. And we're going to flare out. We're going to come halfway on that ball, that circle. We're going to come down, and we're going to flare out. Now, check this out. This has a little curvature. This has a little curvature. And we're going to come out at an angle, out at an angle. This one comes up This comes up and then curves back in. This comes up, then curves back in. This is your humerus. This is your humerus or upper arm bone. Okay? Humerus or upper arm bone. So this is part one of drawing a simple proportional skeleton. You guys have done awesome. I appreciate you listening and doing, and that's it for today.